that the kids give me a hard time about, it's a huge generation gap, is that I use the term focused grasshopper. And so in Project AYP, and I've had the blessing of being last, now 2 times that I've shared with you. Everybody's kind of conked out by this time. But if you can retrieve the first time that we met, I had a boatload of data, and it was too much. And so I had to focus grasshopper. So I focused, and here's where it comes out to be. And I simply wasn't reporting it right. I knew what I was doing, I just need to capture it differently. So for the blue bars, you'll see that is my action. It can be attending a data team. It can be giving them feedback using the steps 4 and 5. I'm focusing on proficient implementation of steps 4 and 5 of the data team. It can be contacting Susan Dougal at 8 o'clock at night via text saying, I need help because this is where we're falling apart. It can be hosting a fishbowl, basically meeting of professional learning on what it should look like. And so those are my actions throughout the time. Very heavy in August to set up camp, and it's pretty much held steady based on my actions throughout the year. The orange bar is focusing on how many of those data teams actually achieve proficiency in steps 4 and 5. And one of the things, like Rebecca, I was so excited to hear, it's non-negotiable. You're either doing it with effectiveness or you're not. And so you can see that at this point, we have 4 data teams that have chronically hit steps 4 and 5 proficiently. The neat thing about this is overall, if you look at data teams at West Middle School, holistically, they are much more towards a proficient implementation. What's knocking us out is step 5. And that seems to be a really, really difficult thing, but we're working on it. But the neat thing, and I've had to wrestle with the data too, do I do common formative or do I common summative? I went to common summative because ultimately we want to see that proficient or that mastery of that standard that's the focus of the data team. So you can see that this data I think is going to change. I just got some numbers on my computer that a teacher sent me, so I think that'll bump up to over 73%, but that's an average of my data team mastery, basically.